Welcome to DFS Insights, where the match behind the match comes alive. I am David Geislinger, and alongside me is David Grant Jr., my cousin and co-strategist. And the event up on the block is UFC Vegas 95, Tybura vs. Spivac, Part 2.
With your lineup success as our top priority, this is where David and I are going to go over what fight matchups that we think you should be considering in order to put yourself in the best position to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the night. We're going to break down the strategy behind our picks and share our insights to help enhance your lineup construction. And yeah, man, it's not the best card ever coming in here with Sergey Spivak versus my Marchon Tybura, Part 2. They are fighting in Vegas now, going from Abu Dhabi, one sand place into, our sand place over here, here out in the desert. They're going to be fighting here at the Apex. And, let's all just remember that octagon is 10 feet smaller than the octagon normally. Pretty solid main event up here. They did fight the first time where Marcin Tybura, I believe, did get the best of Sergey Spivak. Sergey is supposed to be a little bit more of their, prospect that they've been trying to build up to get, I don't really see him being champion one day. If I'm being completely honest, that's not really the deepest division, at heavyweight. I think it is ranked number 9 versus number 8. They both have fought, they both have a loss to Tom Aspinall as one of their losses. I believe Sergey's loss to Cyril Gahn is his other loss, which, losing to those two guys is nothing to sneeze at, both former champions. And then he beats the people he's supposed to beat. And Tybura's kind of been doing the same thing. His last loss was to Tom Aspinall. And I know he has one loss to somebody else that also was, ranked in the top 5, I believe. So, it's really about, who do we think has made a little bit more growth since the first time that they fought about 4 years ago. We could go ahead and maybe take a look here at the cheat sheet and, kind of lead into maybe what some of the numbers say and everything.
Yeah, all right, yeah, but before we do that, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, do everything, free to help out this, channel to grow. So yeah, like David said, let's go ahead and bring it over here to the cheat sheet. We didn't get to do our intro here on DFS First Insights, as this card has gone through some crazy stuff. Started off at 13 fights. It was down to I think 9. Now it's at 10. Who knows? Weigh-ins are tomorrow morning, and here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's something, lots of short notice stuff, and we've had fighters, a couple fighters that have had some issues with the scale. So it'll definitely be something to watch tomorrow for sure. The weigh-ins to see what happens.
Yeah. So just briefly scanning here, we got, the names, the salaries, we got their win odds, both in Vegas betting odds, the plus or minus, and then we converted that to percentage for both wins, inside the distance and round ones, notes, heavyweight 5-round fights, and then we have the average ownership over here. So just looking at the main event, starting off Tybura versus Spivac. It looks like actually Spivac's coming in favored. That seems this whole card, our own data here matches Vegas. Even though some of my data, there are quite a bit of yellow name fighters. That means there are three or less fights in the UFC. So their data is a little skewed, as you can see here, like 97% chance to win, 94. That's just because there's really not too much data to kind of base it on. But anyways, it does line up. So looking at it, it looks Spivac being a 10 fight card, just getting 6 wins in your lineup is going to put you up there pretty high in the money. So, looking at that, this is 5 round. It is a heavyweight fight, so there is semi potential to get a knockout. High ownership, 52% for Spivac. So we'll be having, some lineups obviously with him. I'll probably be maybe slightly below the field, maybe about 45-ish% maybe on my lineups there, just because I'm trying to hit it by myself, even though this might be a very chalky win, I think, this week. I'm gonna, just scrolling down a few fights that I'm actually in. I did highlight right here Chris Gutierrez at 7K. So obviously DraftKings priced him as the underdog when he was going against Baccarat. That was the co-main event previously, I believe, and now he is still priced because they can't change the price. He's now fighting Kwang Lee, who's taking it on, a 4-day notice, and he is literally the highest favorite at a minus 549. So he, Vegas has him about 85%. We have him about 95%. Mind you, he's going against that. His ownership's at 66.6%, and I'm going to tell you right now, for me, that's too low. I'm going to have him in probably 80 to 85% of my lineups. I'm only going to leave 10 to 15%, maybe closer to 10% for Quan Lee because it's MMA and there is always, a fighter's chance. But
Sure.
at 7K for Gutierrez at a minus 550, I mean, him just getting a win, that's like almost at 7K, that's going to be in the optimal. I can predict that now. So I'm still gonna hedge my bet, but only about 10% with maybe, like I said, maybe even a bit less than 10. I haven't done my lineups yet, haven't fully worked it out, but I think Chris Gutierrez basically 95% lock. And then,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, I fully agree with you on that. The only scary thing would be if for some reason Gutierrez doesn't get the finish. I know he still is a great striker. He throws good volume and everything, but it is a 3-round fight. You are wanting the finish. I mean, I get that his salary is, I believe, is it
No,
7,700?
7,000.
Oh, he's 7,000. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah, go ahead and lock him in. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no,
I
he's
was thinking, I was thinking
7K.
he was 70.
No.
Oh yeah, it's 7K. If Quang Lee wins, that would, yes, I'm with you then. So yeah, 90-10. That's you just lock him in.
Yeah, yeah,
My
and then
bad.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm even gonna say my next kind of basically lock. He'll be high percent too. Is this Grigiora, Charlampos Grigiora coming in at the minus 225, going against Kazama. Just looking at some of, even though both of them, I think have only been in the UFC for obviously 3 or less fights. Grigora is gonna, I think, destroy Kazama. Kazama, last 2 fights, been knocked out in the first round. Both fights, he's literally, I don't think he's won in the UFC yet. I don't think, in my opinion, watching it, at UFC caliber. So I think Grigory is going to, basically, I think this will be a first round knockout. If not, it will definitely be. So 53%, I'll probably be over that, probably be closer to 65-70%. I typically don't like to go that high on fights. I kind of typically like to max out my ownership around 55%. But this card, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, who are some of the ones you're looking at here?
Yeah, I'm taking a look. So obviously the main event, it is interesting, as heavyweights, seeing a 5-round heavyweight event here. I don't see that really going the distance. I will be much heavier on Tybura, to be honest. Especially with that ownership, average ownership coming in at like half of what Spivac is. I'll be closer to 60-40 Tybura and then Spivac afterwards. Tybura's wrestling is too much for Sergey. I just think Sergey is going to want to keep the fight standing. Could he get the finish in the first or second round? I do, that is a possibility because they're heavyweights. But if Tybura can get him down and get the type of ground control he did the first time that they fought, he's going to wear on Sergey. And I could see Tybura getting a fourth round finish. So I'll be 60-40. Sergey does look in a lot better shape than what he did the first time they fought about 4 years ago. But I'm still, especially if the ownership is going to be double on Spivac, then I'm going to, if I'm going to be going, 89, 90% Gutierrez, where he's already somewhere between 65 and 70% owned, you're going to have to make a couple moves somewhere else to try not to tie, with there only being 10 fights to choose from. But I'll definitely be targeting that fight. As you mentioned, the Gutierrez fight, you can pretty much lock him in. Um, the Carl Williams fight, that's going to be a little interesting. That's it coming in at light. Okay, yeah, it's at heavyweight. Carl Williams just wants to get you to the ground and kind of lay on you. But he could get a takedown in each round, and if he's able to just control that, um, I don't really see him getting the finish.
No, he is
I
he is
think
the decision master.
Master. Yeah. So, at 9,000, would he be able to score enough? I don't think so. Is Janata Diaz live? I do think he is live. Um, at least a little bit more than what it's showing over here. 16.9 average ownership. I might have like 20% exposure. Just he is a hard hitter, and Carl's either going to wear him out in the second and third round. I hope he doesn't get taken down in the first round. But he is live, so I'll be on that. And then Yusuf Zalal, this is his second run in the UFC. He went back to the regional scene. He got 3 wins. I believe they were all by finish, and he's facing Aaron's who's decent and he's a little live, but I think I see Zalal getting a second or third round finish is what I'm going to be hoping for. He's definitely the better fighter. Aaron's is also on short notice on this fight. So I'll probably be at around 50% exposure to Zalal. Um, it yeah, his second time around, both of these guys are fighting for something. They're both, I believe, coming off a loss right now. But yeah, Zalal did go 3 rounds with the current champion Ilya Taporia. So that says something in itself to me. And then yeah, I like the Gurijirao Charlampo. So yeah, I'm just murdering his name. Sorry about that, everyone. Typically I try to get that right. But yeah, he also to me has, as the card says over here, round one best probability at 28% to get that round one finish. That would be huge. You're going to have to get that right in a GPP here to be optimal when there's only 10 fights.
Yeah.
So, um, you know, yeah, the only other news I want to throw in for everybody is that Stephanie Luciano and the Toledo Alenikar fight. They both are from Dana White's Contender Series. That was actually Alenikar's last fight. That was about a year ago, and that fight went to a draw. And Dana gave Luciano, I believe, the contract, but he did not give it to Alenikar. And Luciano has one fight since then. I believe she lost. This will be Alenikar's debut, and I kind of like taking the underdog here, especially if she's at 29%. Her only way of winning is really to keep it on the feet and try to strike. If Luciano gets it to the ground and keeps it down there and gets multiple takedowns, um, that might be optimal at 8,500. I have yet to do a little bit of my lineup building. I've only been watching a little bit of tape and doing some research. But that's definitely something to keep your eye on as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one, but I'm gonna go with Stephanie Luciano on this one. Slightly favorite, but just looking here at some of my calculations, I've done too. I think she is higher. She has a very high percentage to score in that 90 plus range point wise against Alan Carr. So I'll be looking obviously to a little bit more film and things like that. Maybe be watching that Contender Series matchup to see what's going on, and then obviously the follow-up fight with Luciana to see did she learn anything or is she just the
Yeah.
same. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, it'd be good to see there. Danny Barlow, be looking at here.
Yeah.
He's coming in. I think he's undefeated at 8-0, so he does have some power. Watching a few other shows, and they always kept referencing that he kind of looks like a Jamal Hill with his power. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so be looking at that. Other than that, just kind of going to be, it's going to be pretty easy, I think, to get some of these higher favorites, even at the higher salary. Especially with Gutierrez coming in at 7K, because that's basically like a free underdog win for you right there. Even though he's not the underdog, he's priced as if he would have been. Obviously, that's why I'm saying I'm still going to hedge my bet a little bit with Quan Lee. There's always, he could fall backwards and trip and hit the dude in the right spot.
I know.
Fall into a knockout or something, or gets too cocky and gets submitted. Or
the judges
could
get it wrong.
Or the judges might confuse names.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Other than that, looking pretty good. So yeah, please let us know. In the comments below if you need any additional information up here. But this is our cheat sheet. We're verifying here. We have been pretty accurate on the my data. Obviously, when you incorporate these yellow fighters, we still come in at about 65%, accuracy. You take away the yellow fighters, and we're up to about, I believe, 75-80% accuracy while predicting the fights. So, take that how you want it. Obviously, with the yellow fighters, we do a lot more tape watching on those to obviously verify, verify the numbers. But yeah, other than that, looking forward to this card, and hopefully, sneaking in maybe some of these tricky plays here to catch a win.
Yeah, definitely. Last card. I actually took tied for 15th in the main, which was technically the third optimal lineup. Shockingly, that actually had 2 losing fighters in it, which is pretty insane. And even the optimal lineup at 100K, that split 5 ways and had 1 losing fighter in it. So that's how pretty wild that card was. And again, the fighters that are in yellow, it's one thing, we got our little cheat sheet here. Highly recommend watching tape for you guys on your end out there. Always do your own tape watch. Please always also do a little bit of your own research outside of what we recommend. So that way you can, we're here to help guide you guys and everything, but, always make sure you're also doing some extended research on your side in order to give yourself the best chance to be up at the top of the leaderboard. So, yeah, we got, I'm pretty hyped. We got NFL coming up here right around the corner. We'll be doing the DraftKings Millionaire Maker main slate. We'll be covering that. We'll be covering some FanDuel single game stuff like on Thursday nights and stuff like that coming up. So super excited for NFL. And yeah, man.
Yeah, so make sure you're subscribed. You hit that notification bell so you don't miss those for this upcoming season. We got about 3 weeks or so preseason starting. We're not doing preseason because I rather go to Vegas and use my luck there than bet on
for sure
bet on preseason games. So yeah, with that, good luck. Hope to see you up on that leaderboard.
Yep. Good luck, everybody. See you guys at the top.